Sonic is back in LEGO form for the first time in a couple years, but this time in an actual set, and I wanted to go over this because it's a gaming LEGO set, and I think it'd make a lot of sense for me to do that, so here we are. My name is Brian Saviano, BricksOBrian, a little bit of different layout than what I normally do for a LEGO video here on the BricksOBrian end of things, but trying something different. It's a rambling sort of LEGO review, casually talking about my thoughts on the set as I do my thing. It's not meant to be look how fast it's going. It's just me talking. So this is the LEGO Sonic Idea set. This was originally submitted as a LEGO Sonic Mania set, which is slightly different from what we actually got here. So it's from the LEGO Ideas line, where you can vote on different projects to reach 10,000. They become actual products over time. Sonic has made it, and now we have it in this form here. We have gotten a Sonic minifigure before in terms of LEGO Dimensions that came out a couple years ago. That was more Toys to Life interactive-based games and gameplay like that. So that was from a different era. This is a whole new era of Sonic the Hedgehog, celebrating 30 years of the Blue Blur. So in the set, you have a couple different enemies, including this jank-looking Dr. Eggman, but we're going to talk about Eggman in a little bit. There's a crab, and there's also this creature here. I would be lying if I said I was the #1 Sonic fan in the galaxy, but I'm going to go over this as best as I can, and actually have the instruction booklet right here. So I'm going to show you a little bit more in-depth, I guess, normally than I do with these videos. There's 2 sticker sheets. Not that I don't find this information super relevant, unless it's a crazy amount of stickers, but in case you want to know, 2 sticker sheets included. Just for accent details on like the boxes and the lives down here, which I think this is a really nice touch, but that's getting into it more than right now. On the back, it says Fin end, just like you would see in Sonic 1. So yeah, that was the initial submission right there. Based on Sonic Mania, so there's like an Eggman robot. There's Sonic, a couple of the animal creatures that you get by releasing the capsules and whatnot. But this is invoking Sonic 1. And as you're going through the build process, they give you kind of, I mean, right here, they give you a little bit of info about the set, the designers, the fan designer. So as you're building this, what's really cool, spoiler alert, I guess, as you're building it, you get to place more of the Chaos Emeralds that are located on this display stand here. So I think this is a super nice touch. And to me, it separates it from being a play set. This is a display set because you have the 7 Chaos Emeralds in the lineup there. So you get an idea for what the instructions are like. But in terms of the actual set, this is that display I was talking about before. So it obviously invokes a little bit of that Infinity Gauntlet sort of collection vibe. Obviously totally different, but you get the idea. So you put Sonic on here, and it basically acts as a little display stand. And so you can pose Sonic any way that you want to. The rings here, this is where you're noticing the rings, right? And this was the same thing that kind of happened in the Sonic Dimensions pack as well. They're using what is basically a buoy or a toilet cover seat for the rings in Sonic, and they did not make a custom piece for this at all. This has been the same piece that's been used for like over 5 years now. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but, you know, that's what we're getting. As you can see, we're going with the white gloves for the close-up here. But you can see Sonic, and he's a little bit different than as he appeared in the LEGO Dimensions pack. You notice the belt buckles at the bottoms of the shoe right there, which is obviously very iconic for Sonic. In the LEGO Dimensions version, the feet were dual molded, or the legs were dual molded, just like with this, except before it was blue and white, where this is blue and red now. Not that that detail, I think, actually matters at all, but like it makes it a little more accurate. I'm more surprised and happy about the boot buckles right there. Technically, buckle boot, I don't know, whatever. It sounds funny saying it either way. But yeah, that's a little nice detail there. The eyes are different too. It's based off of Sonic 1. So in the 2000s Sonic, the eyes were green. So like Sonic Adventure, Sonic Colors, all that. So this is based off a classic Sonic here. And as we take a look at the other things that are included in the set, because this is the only minifigure. In the press release, they were like, oh, look at 5 minifigures. That's not a minifigure. This is an enemy. And again, I'm not a massive Sonic fan, but all the enemies that are included in the set are the Moto Bug, the Crab Meat, and Dr. Eggman. So this is Crab Meat here. Brick built, looks pretty like a crab meat, you know? Looks looks pretty on par here. I like the eyes. I don't know if this is a new piece or anything, but I like that it maintains that cartoony look that I would expect from Sonic the Hedgehog. So that's pretty cool. There's also the Moto Bug over here. What's interesting and cool about the Moto Bug is that you're not just getting that one face right there. The Moto Bug can look a little bit mad and angsty, which is exactly why they included it. Oh, the Eggbot thing fell off. But yeah, you get a second facial expression right here. So you can take them off one way or another and place whichever one you want to, depending on if you want your Motobug to be mad or not. So there's a lot of stickers in the set, as you saw before. It doesn't bother me, but if it means we get more details like that, then that's totally fine. So that's a pretty nice looking Motobug there. Between these two characters, I probably like the Crab a little bit more. Feels a bit more vibrant, I guess, a bit more lively compared to the compact nature. I mean, they both look very accurate, so, you know, it's totally fine. So there's these two, and then technically the fifth, so there's those two, and technically the fifth enemy, the fifth, whatever you want to call him, is Dr. Eggman. This character right here. Look at that focus. Whoa, you're like, whoa, where's the eyes being focused here? So this is Dr. Jankman here. When I saw the initial video and the pictures for this, I'm like, man, that Eggman looks bad. And the reason it looks bad is because his face looks like a hamburger. Because this is what I remember seeing in like the Krabby Patties from SpongeBob, where it'd be like the brown with the little bit of lettuce and then the two buns. It basically looks like a Krabby Patty. And, you know, I was told that the face looks a little bit better when you see it in person. I disagree. I believe having that, it's part of the Lego piece, I understand, but having that gap right there above the nose, it just doesn't look good. It doesn't translate well. And I understand what they were going for with the, you know, the brick-built version, trying to make it look egg-like. I mean, he looks very plump. He looks like classic Eggman for sure. I get it. I'm glad they used actual Hulk hands for the hands here instead of something brick-built. But I think this would have really benefited from a molded piece of some kind. Just have an Eggman molded head. That's what was in the LEGO Dimensions Sonic level. They did like a whole big fig. Obviously, they weren't going to do the same thing. But I think that would have played for it a little bit better here. Having that hole, I mean, the hole beneath the chin, I can excuse a little more because I guess like chins, even then, but regardless, the hole above the nose, nah, no. And the reason that is because when you're building this Eggman here, there has to be a pin that goes through the very bottom of the Krabby Patty into the base of Dr. Eggman there. So that's what you get with that. That is printed right there, so that's cool. The two white dots right there, you can see in the reflection, those are stickers, so don't get too excited about that. So Eggman, I think he looks... I like the body. I like what they were trying to do. If there was a custom molded head, it would have been great, but... So yeah, if I'm moving him like this way, he just kind of falls out, and that's it. But the details on the inside are nice, a little control panel there, but there's nothing clicking him in. I mean, maybe... Actually, maybe this... That one stud right there, see that one stud? There is a little bit of a gap right there for his butt. Let's see, does that actually work? I mean, oh, that does work. Never mind, I lied to you. I just bold-faced lied to you. He does fit in there. Look at that. And I'm shaking him. Ah, nothing. Wow, he does fit in there. I just bold-faced lied to you in the video. How does that make you feel? Do you still trust me? You should. While I'm down here, the other interesting thing to note is how these 2x2 tiles work. So obviously, if you're familiar with Sonic, you'll know that there's these boxes that Sonic can jump onto, get the abilities for. That's invincibility, shielding, faster running shoes, rings, and there's also a second item box here for another life for Sonic. So you can take either of these panels and put whatever you want to put on the boxes. They don't give you 5 boxes, but you can put whatever you want to. I mean, I think what the idea is you put the extra ones back here, right? So if you're looking at it from the front, you kind of don't, I mean, you do see it from the back there, but you can, I guess, turn them around and put whatever you want. There's no extra piece for the Motobug, that face, but I guess you could kind of pull off the extra piece storage there. You still have one loose, so there's no hidden draw or anything for these, but... So for the rest of the set, you're noticing this is Green Hill Zone. If you're familiar with Sonic, you'll know that this is the greenery area that is the first level typically of, like most of the Sonic games, especially the 2D ones. You'll notice that there's stickers for Sonic's life as before, but on the back, there's another one that basically goes over the high score. It's like an Easter egg. So in these LEGO idea sets and LEGO sets in general, they kind of like to have this homage in a way to some of the designers that were a part of the set. So the first high score is Viv, that is the fan designer of the set. We have LCK and then Sam also as well. 1991 represents the year Sonic 1 came out. The first date is whatever date is important to the designer, and then that middle one looks like a LEGO set number, but there's no LEGO set number 76642 that exists. So maybe if they were to make an addition to this, they would release, that under that number right there. But who knows? That's just me speculating. So the other stickers here, you may not have noticed it, but that's actually a sticker here and also on the sides and on the very side of that area too. It's this 2x6 large, tall piece that you put the stickers on to give it a bit more detail, which I understand. I get that. I wasn't too mad about that at all. But you notice it also comes on, in general, this very nice black base plate sort of thing here. So it's meant to connect to multiple, either green, they're saying it connects to multiple Green Hill zones, is what they want you to believe with those Technic pins right here and on the side. I don't know if I believe that. I more so believe they're going to release more Sonic sets in the same idea, but that's just me. So there's more rings, more rings. You have these translucent bits to make it look like that island is floating. All of those pieces that you're seeing on the set are all printed. So that is one of the few printed pieces in the actual set. So this 1x4 tile is meant to look like the exterior of Green Hill Zone. All of these kind of nougat and brown pieces you see, they're all 1x1 by like 1. They're very, very small. So you're putting a bunch of these together. So if you're looking at the piece count, you're like, how is there over 1,000 pieces in this thing? That's why, because each of those little sections are 2. And they keep going and going and going and going. So if they were to release future Sonic sets, you would not be having the same build experience because they do Chemical Plant Zone or whatever else. It's not the same style. So there you go. But this little bit here basically encapsulates all of Green Hill Zone. You don't really have a lot of extra, like, plain greenery space to extend it and make it a much longer thing. I mean, this kind of section here is, but there's always something going on. So the very start of the level, you have a bridge, you have the checkpoint, the rounded area here, and then there's also a little spring play functionality down here, which I'll go over. This is a little bit weird in terms of how they have it. So you don't actually click Sonic onto there at all, but the way that you access that, it's a very small area, and you flick it basically just right there, and he falls off. So the access point right there is very small. You have to place your finger right inside of there. So if you have a little kid, that's not a very accessible play area for that, but whatever. The other cool thing is that you can place Sonic right in the middle here as if he's going through the ring. Some other people online are like, oh, this ring's too small. I'm not bothered by it. I would have loved to have seen some way for Sonic to be going midway around the ring by having some sort of connector piece up there. So instead of him just looping around the ring right here, he could be looking like he's mid-run. But yeah, you can place him just like this, and he looks really good regardless. So there's not a lot of play functionality here, but it's meant to be a display piece, of course. You can move these different sections around. They're connected by Technic pins. So this is one section, this, and that. But this is how it's kind of laid out in Green Hill Zone as it is. So if you want to, you can, but I'm not going to do that. So overall, this set, is it worth $70? This set is for the avid Sonic fan, the retro gaming fan who hasn't built a LEGO set in a very long time and wants something really nice as a display piece for their office where this doesn't take up a lot of room depth-wise. So if you have that shelf in your office and you want to make it a nice kind of skyline like the architecture skylines, then yeah, this is actually perfect. And when people saw this, they're like, man, wouldn't it have been really cool if they made this, except with Mario? Instead of having the blocky figures, you could have done World 1-1, just like this. So who's to say they won't release more types of sets like this down the line? But in terms of what you're getting here, at first I'm like, man, $70 seems kind of steep for this thing. But then I'm looking at all the different details and all the stuff, for as weird as Eggman can kind of look right here, this is a nice solid chunk of stuff here. So if you take into account these two enemies and Sonic, the Chaos Emerald stand down over toward this way, there's a lot going on for $70, and I think it's worth it. It makes sense that there's not any other characters included because, you know, Sonic 2 is Sonic and Tails, and then Sonic 3 is with Knuckles, so I get that. I would have loved another minifigure, or maybe if Eggman got that custom molded headpiece, I could have more easily recommended this for $70, but for right here, if you have a $15 gift card to the LEGO store or some Christmas cash or something, then this becomes a lot more justifiable, in my opinion. But $70 as it is right here, without that little extra little bit right there, makes it a little bit tougher, little bit tougher to go after. I mean, there's not really room for another enemy to put on here, so I don't know what else I could have done. Maybe have the end goalpost as a feature over here, something else, but like the little touch like this with the Chaos Emeralds, I think that's really great. I think that's awesome. So that little detail there and other things like it in this set make it that much more cool overall. The fact that you do get the extra item block things to put there if you want to. And it really does look like Green Hill Zone. They merged the LEGO aesthetic with Sonic really, really well. So I'm satisfied with the set. I can't wait to toss it back here for a little while. And hopefully we get Sonic 2, 3, make a whole lineup of these, because if you take 2 or 3 more of these sections and you make them into one big thing, that'd be really, really cool, and it would be substantial, and it would be very much so worth it. So if you're somebody who likes retro video games, if you love Sonic, if you don't buy LEGO sets very often, you want to get your fix, this is definitely a way to get your LEGO fix, especially with it being such a cool and iconic set. It is probably, I'd say, a perfect Sonic set overall. I mean, if we got Tails and Knuckles, sure. But as it is right now, it's pretty perfect, minus a few little flaws here and there. So hopefully you've enjoyed this casual overview of the Sonic set. Maybe you'll pick it up for yourself. Maybe you won't. I have to check out more of the much more important and cool LEGO Super Mario and Luigi sets. So I'll be doing those very soon. But until then, talk to you later. Bye.